Alright guys and girls, welcome back to another video of mine on my YouTube channel. Now I'm just looking at some of these 3D Blu-ray movies, except for this one, Terminator 1, or The Terminator by James Cameron. I picked this up for £6 from the CEX store. This was a couple of weeks going back, and this is probably to me one of the favourite Terminator movies, but not the best Terminator films I've seen. I'm gonna say, off the off note of it, Schwarzenegger's Terminator 2, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator 2 Judgment Day in 3D, probably one of the best releases I've actually seen of the Terminator series. This is Terminator 2. I've got Terminator 1. I haven't got the third one, which is the Rise of the Machines. I'm hoping Rise of the Machines number 3 comes out in 3D, and I'm hoping the first Terminator movie comes out in 3D, because I would definitely get it. I want all my entire Terminator films to be in 3D. Right, we have Terminator 5 here. Actually, nobody wants Terminator Salvation in 3D, because that was an absolute crack of shit movie I've ever seen. It's absolutely worse, and the CGI was absolutely terrible. Anyway, guys and girls, as I was saying, Terminator 2. I was playing this on the big screen earlier. I couldn't play the actual main disc for some reason, so I had to do a conversion of it, to convert it to a file, to an MKV file, and then just play it through my app, through the big screen mode. And this basically worked for me using, I think it was called, one of the players I was using. I was trying to play it on the other ones, which what's it called? Power DVD 19, and for some reason it crackles a lot, so I think there might be some sort of AAC going on there, audio codec or something, making crackling noises. So I've just used some free software to play it through the big screen, and watching it on the big screen, I'll tell you what, it's fantastic, guys and girls. Yeah, Judgment Day, probably one of the best films in 3D. I would definitely love a Terminator 1 in 3D at some point, but I don't know, they all think 3D is a gimmick, but I think every film that comes out should be native in 3D and then converted into 2D for people who want 2D or maybe 4K. Actually, I would love some 4K 3D movies to come out, and that would be quite cool. So you could play it in like a 3D 4K player. That would be awesome, and then just play it onto like the big screens and all that kind of stuff, guys and girls. Anyway, so Genesis, I haven't watched this yet, the Terminator 1, but I believe they said with the Terminator 2, I read somewhere along the lines, because I think it got remastered in 2016 for the conversion on it. But it wasn't, I don't think it was done in native 3D, but it still looks fantastic. I was like watching it and I was just blown away with the guns coming out of the screen, especially when Arnold was using that minigun and he lifts it up and you see like the actual round circle sort of gun components literally sticking through the window or through the screen. Some of the depth of field is really good on it as well, especially when he's in that building near the end, not the main building, but where he was like basically shooting up all the cops and stuff with the minigun. Well, he wasn't shooting them or killing them, but he was basically blowing up all the cars and all that kind of stuff. And then Dyson was basically trying to get the hand to try and destroy the chip as well, the CPU chip. Just outside the buildings, it kind of really looked good on the depth of field, like the viewing, it massive, the whole area was like quite wide open. But yeah, I will do a talk probably on Terminator Genesis in 3D once I get to see that and see how good that is. because I'm actually converting that to an MKV file at the moment, so I can actually notice the difference. But what I do, because I keep the entire, copy the whole film on it and convert it, and then just play it into the big screen, and that way I can sort of like get a good feel of it. But to get the good decent 3D effect on it, the side by side is really absolutely brilliant, and it's vital that you go for side by side because you get the best sort of benefits out of it. And also when you're in the big massive cinema screen area to watch it, because I'm watching it on the Oculus Quest at the moment, and even though I'm streaming it through to my Oculus Quest onto my computer to watch it, it's you do need a good decent decent computer, unless you actually can convert it to a smaller size file and then just put it onto your Oculus Quest or Oculus Go, and you can watch it just natively without actually streaming it through to the cinema screen and all that. But I'll tell you what, absolutely amazing nonetheless, because I got about a 70 meg connection, so when I'm streaming through to my Oculus Quest to my computer, it gets really good. But also, what I would like to tell you finally, actually, about this, because I can't wait until Terminator 6 comes out. I'm really excited for that movie to come out, but it should be good. Is when you're in the cinema mode or the big screen app, which is the big screen VR app, use to go back to the top, go right to the back of the seat, because you can actually choose which seat you want to sit in. Either go to the end of the seat or near the middle to get a decent sort of 3D view, but also sit at the back so you can see the entire screen, because you get more benefits actually seeing it from back further, because the 3D effects work a lot better because it seems more closer, because when you sit too close to the screen, it's not, I don't think, in my personal view, I don't think it's that great. But when you sit quite back a bit further, you get that nice depth of field, and you get that sort of closeness, like it's quite close forward. But yeah, anyway, it's my little sort of take on Terminator 2 Judgment Day in 3D. I would definitely love Terminator the 1, or just the Terminator, being in 3D at some point. Hopefully James Cameron can do that, because he's the best guy for those movies and then getting them all sorted. Now, I believe the Terminator Judgment Day 3D version is not the extended edition, because they said James Cameron didn't like his extended version. He said it wasn't suitable for 3D, so he went for the original sort of transcript on it, for he sort of made it a lot better. And there's certain bits and bobs that he actually got cleaned up in this film and made it a lot better as well. Also, I might check out the 4K versions at some point as well, because 4K is really good as well, with HDR and the high dynamic range and the better colours, the darker blacks and the lighter whites and all that, the brighter whites I should say. So yeah, anyway, let us know what you think, guys and girls. Cheers for watching, stay safe. It is actually today, Saturday, 15th of June 2019, 4:13 in the morning, guys and girls. Anyway, you all stay safe and have a lovely day, and cheers for watching all.